Okay, we are live. All right, so you got this 1.3. We're going to be on the practice side. So here's how we're going to work this today and tomorrow. Today I'm going to work on teaching some of the stuff on 1.3, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity to work on some of that stuff. Tomorrow, same thing, okay? So right now, we're looking at number 1, and it says write an algebraic expression to represent each variable expression. Now, this is real hard for some people. Some people's brains don't work this way well, so I'm going to give you some hints, okay? So we're going to start with, let's look for our variable, our thing we don't know. And you're going to see that that's always going to say like a number or an unknown or something like that. Do y'all see that word in here? See a number right there? A number. Okay, that's where our x is, right there. That's our x. Then we're going to work out from that. So we're going to start with a number and work out from it. So we go to what's the first thing that we say about a number? What do we do with it? Well, it says the quotient of a number in 5. Do y'all remember what the word quotient means? That's an answer when you divide, right? So the quotient of a number in 5 means we take a number and we divide it by 5. Anytime you need to go get a drink, or you tell you to get rid of them hiccups. Ooh. Okay, stand up. I'm gonna get rid of these hiccups for you. Stand up. Okay, back up a little bit. You need some room. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. Okay, get a big mouthful of water, but do not swallow yet. Just big mouthful. Okay, bend over. I'm being serious. Bend over and swallow. All the way over. Put your head like down towards the floor. Get all the way down. I don't think I have any paper towels. Go get some Kleenexes. Oh, here.
I think it went away when I screwed him.
I bet y'all he don't have hiccups no more. For real, if you get a drink and you swallow it while you're upside down, it will get rid of your hiccups. Hiccups are just a spasm in your diaphragm, and when you swallow turned with your head facing down, it forces your diaphragm to stop spasming. That's the only thing it does. So I probably should explain that all to him before. Okay, so we've got this x divided by 5, right? Anytime you're doing the quotient of, the product of, the difference of, anytime you do that, you do them in order. So if it says the quotient of a number in 5, x goes on top, 5 goes on bottom. Then we branch out some more. What else are we doing to that? So then it says 2 more than. So that means that we're doing 2 more than this stuff. So how do we show 2 more than that stuff right there? We just add 2. And that's our answer. You think that's? Okay. 5 times the sum of a number and 1. We're doing number 3. Okay, so where's our number? Where's our variable? Right there, right? And it says we're just going to branch right out. So the sum of a number and 1. What does sum mean in math? Addition. So sum is addition, right? So if we're doing the sum of a number and 1, we're doing x plus 1. Ignore that I just did that, okay? Ignore this. Now, my finger's not making it. Okay, now, what are we doing to that? It says 5 times, but it's 5 times all of this. So what do we have to do? Put them parentheses there that I accidentally started putting to start with. So, that's what it looks like. Does that make sense? Circle 2, circle 4, you're going to be responsible for them. Okay, let's talk about writing a verbal sentence to represent each equation. So that, y'all, I'm sorry, I need to make sure this isn't important because those of you who had me last year know there's like 5 people in this world who can get through my phone during the day. Okay, it's not.
Bend over and swallow.
Let's not, okay? Okay, write a verbal sentence to represent each equation. Now, your sentences may not all look exactly the same because there are many different ways of saying this stuff. But here's where I want you to start. So, make you a mark where the equal sign is. What non-math word do we use to mean equal? We can use same, we can use congruent, but I was looking for something real simple. Like super simple. Like not equal, but that means equal. That, while that is a true statement, not really what I'm looking for. Wait, somebody said it. Is. The word is the simplest word you can use to mean equal. So whatever we put on this side is whatever we have on this side. Now this side's real simple. What is it over here? 4. So we're just going to put the word 4, right? You can put the number 4. I don't care. On this side, though, start with where your unknown variable is. And then we're going to work out. So what is our unknown variable? What's happening to it? We're multiplying it times 2. So we would say like a number times 2. Or 2 and a number. Or the product of 2 and a number. Or something like that, okay? There's lots of different options you can use. Just to make it easy, I'm just going to do like 2 times a number. 2 times, and then I'm going to abbreviate because I don't have a lot of room. In this classroom, if you see that symbol, it does not mean hashtag, it means number. Long before that was a hashtag, that meant number. And then what are we doing to that stuff? So it's being subtracted from 5, right? So we would say 5 less than 2 times a number. Because you take the less than, you take that out of.
Wouldn't 5 less than be like subtracting 5?
So anytime you use the word than, right? 5 less than, 2 more than, that part comes second. Does that make sense? Let me think of a different way to say it. Oh, Jared, I apologize to you. You are right. My brain just shut down for 2 seconds. You're right. 5 less than would be subtracting 5. You're right. That's when I said when you use the word than, that's the accurate statement, but I was applying it completely wrong. So having said that, how would we say that?
5, 2.
How could we?
I already had it, but like you said that.
I messed you up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
2 less than 5.
We could say 2 times a number less than 5. We could say that. What's an easier way to say it though? The difference in 5 and 2 times a number, right? We could say the difference in 5 and 2 times a number. We could get even more simple. We could say 5 minus 2 times a number, right? And that would work. 5 minus 2 times a number. Y'all see all the different variations you can have? You just have to always start with your x and work out, right? Start with your unknown variable and work out from that. And that makes it a lot easier. So like if you're doing number 7 down here. So we have unknown variables on both sides. So our is going right here in the middle. What's happening on this side? 3 times some number, right? Or the product of 3 and a number. Or 3 multiplied times some number. Those are all good options. Jackson, can you not see it? Okay. Those are all good options. So we could do like, I'm going to make it simple. And I'm just going to put 3 times a number. 3 times a number is, and then let's look at this other side over here. What's going on? We'll start with your variable. What's happening to it first? So we're doing some number minus 1, or the difference in some number and 1, or 1 less than some number, right? Those are all good options. What's going to be easiest for us? Some number minus 1. So some number minus 1. And then what did we do to that? So we would do 2 times some number minus 1. Afterward? Yeah, you could do that. You sure could. As long as it makes sense, right? Okay, so y'all circle 6 and 8 because you're going to be responsible for those two. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What now? Oh, so no, my brain just sometimes you will say a number and sometimes you will say some number, and it makes no difference. Doesn't make any difference. That's a good question though, Jordan. Way to pick up on me being crazy.
So you could use
A number.
like you could use A both times.
Yep, you sure could. A times or 3 times a number or 2 times a number. Both works. Both of them work. If you'll notice up here, they used a number. I think it's based on like who wrote the questions, like how they think, right? And so once you've taught for a long time and you've seen a bunch of different like textbook writers, one textbook they may use some number, one textbook they may use a number, right? And so whatever you are more accustomed to is probably what you're going to use the most. And so some number is probably what I've seen more than I've seen a number. And that's me guessing because I don't know. Okay, let's talk about properties for just a minute. All right, so look at this first one. By the way, if you had me last year for geometry, I really hope you remember this. So look what's going on. It says,
Miss Martin,
yes, ma'am.
can you send Jesse Hyman to the office, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Did I do roll? I don't think I did.
Sorry, do it real quick.
I am going to do it real quick.
Like this real quick.
While Jesse is going, does that say freeze?
Can I record it?
Yes.
Wait, I have a question. There's like a thing on my like an app, like the teacher uses like this and I write on my name. What is that?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah,
I haven't noticed it.
That's how it's the word for it.
Is it a medical alert? Does it have an ilm in it?
I don't know.
A lot of times,
Yeah.
a lot of times, if you don't know you have one of those, it's something like an allergy or something. Like your parents put down, you have like allergy to something.
Oh, Rabbi, you can look at the time.
Okay, I'm gonna call Ro real quick, and then we'll get to your little thing. Okay, Esteban, Jordan, Jasmine, Anthony, he's here. Ty is at golf. Jordan, Leslie, Justino, Braulio, Taylor, Zaylee, Litzy, JJ, Giselle, Emily, Jesse. He went to the office. Landon, Jared, Samuel, Donnie, he's not here. Bernice, Omar, Jackson, and Kinley. So Johnny's the only person that's technically absent, and then Ty's not here.
They say technically.
Technically.
But
Okay. Jared.
Oh, yeah, what's Giselle?
Giselle?
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
I thought she said over there.
Well, she did, but she's moved it back there. Okay, Samuel, yours just says non-life-threatening allergy. That's what it says. It says seasonal. So do you have like allergies in like the spring or the fall or anything? Pollen?
When it's spring, I'm
Yeah.
like, calling me never get sick.
You never like.
You don't like sneeze and have a runny nose and
I do.
I have seen that. I'm not allergic to it.
Jared, yours says non-life-threatening allergy, but yours is not a seasonal allergy.
You're allergic to
What do you
it.
mean?
No, but that was like in third grade, but like I don't.
Now you see allergic stuff.
That was like I feel like I brought a no right, like to the doctor.
You was allergic to what?
To cow milk. But like I always drink milk at my lunch.
Well, that's what it says on here, that you have a non-life-threatening allergy and that it's a lactose. This is lactose.
Are you lactose intolerant?
See, this, when you bring these notes to school like that, it sticks with you for the rest of your life. It will be on there. Well, school, for the rest of school.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So, Samuel, when you were little, you probably had 1 year where you were like having allergy problems, and so they set the seasonal allergies on there, and it's been there ever since.
I think there was an error on my test because I've like ever since I brought that no, I still drink milk and stuff. Yeah.
You drink lunch? I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, allergy, like my milk and stuff.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just that, should something happen,
Where they force you to drink milk?
yeah, like, it's not a big deal. My daughter always had to have one that said seasonal allergies, just like Samuel's, because every fall they would try to send her home from school saying she had pink eye. She didn't have pink eye, she had freaking allergies, and her eyes would be pink. So she had a little triangle, too. Huh?
We have never seen it.
Well, that's good.
Like,
That's
I've never went to a nurse.
never went to the nurse. Okay. Are we still waiting for Jesse to get back?
Wait, how is pink eye contagious? Like, how do you give it to
It's-
someone? Like,
It's
I
a
just don't know.
bacterial infection.
Like, you can get close to somebody else.
So it's just an infection, just like a cold is an infection.
But like, how do I get it?
You had, like, if you touch your eyes, and then you touch the table, and then he touches the table, and then he rubs his eyes. Or you touch a doorknob, and then they open the door, and then they touch their eyes. And I mean, you don't have to rub your eye on him.
I've never had it.
It's painful.
I had a sty on my eye, but that's it.
Equally painful, but different.
Yeah.
A sty is very painful.
But it's not like itchy. And
Yes.
I hate pink eye. I wanna
But
touch
pink
it.
eye, it is very painful.
I've never had it before.
But it's okay, I don't have flu.
There is no way it took you that long to fill up a water bottle. No freaking way.
No way. I think it's because I think you had to bend over and swallow it.
Okay, let's solve some problems. So we're going to work on these odd problems right here. We're going to work on those right there and see what we can solve on them. You may want a calculator based on some of those numbers being weird. So we're going to start with number 13, which says 14 equals 8 minus 6r. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, y'all listening? Everybody paying attention? You are 10th and 11th graders. You're in Algebra 2. At this point, you're probably getting to where you don't have to write every single step when you solve an equation. Like, you can combine some steps, or you can do some things, right? Okay. For a while, I'm still going to write every single step because not everybody's brain works that way. And so I don't want to lose anyone. But if you don't have to, you don't have to. Okay? If you need to, you need to. You're the only person that knows how your brain functions. If you need to put every single step down, then you better do it. If you don't have to, then it's no big deal. You don't have to. For me or for yourself. Okay? So, whenever we're solving an equation, let's make sure we know where the equal sign is. That's where we're moving things out. Here's our R. That's what we're trying to get by itself. So, always, when you're solving an equation, we're going to go away from R and work closer to it. So what is away from R on this side? That 8. How are we going to get rid of that 8? Subtract. If we do it to one side, we do it to the other. So what is 14 minus 8? So now we have 6 equals, don't forget that sign, 6 equals negative 6R. Okay, what do we do next? Why do we divide? Because we got to get by itself, and it's multiplied, and the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So that means R equals negative 1. And that's our answer for number 13. Now, if we wanted to check this, what would we do? Plug it in. Y'all, you could plug it in, check it, see if it's right. I'm not going to. I'm not going to spend our time doing that. Okay, so that was number 13. Let's do 15 together. So on number 15, we have 3 over 4 minus 1 over 2n equals 5 over 8. Now, I know that some of you looked at this and went, fractions. Y'all, you have calculator in your hand. If you hit the green alpha button and the y equals button, that very first button at the top of the screen, that is your fraction menu right there. So you have that at your disposal. But I'm going to do it without a calculator. I'm going to show you how you don't even need a calculator for this problem, okay? So we're going to draw our equal sign right here. Here's our n we're trying to get by itself. So we're going to get 3/4 out of here first. How do we do it? Subtract it. But if I do it over here, I got to do it over there. Now, if I'm trying to subtract fractions and I don't have a calculator, they have to have the same denominator. So I need to make this 4 an 8. So I'm going to multiply that 4 times 2 to make it an 8. But if I do it there, I also have to do it here. So that means I have 5 over 8 minus 6 over 8. When you subtract fractions, you subtract their tops and leave the bottom the same. So what is 5 over 8? 5 minus 6. Negative 1, right? The 8 stays the same. We don't do anything with the 8. The 8's just there. Over here, we still have negative 1 over 2n. Now we're ready to get rid of that negative 1 over 2. How are we going to do it? So we can divide by negative 1 over 2. But what's going to be easier? Multiply by negative 2 over 1. But do we have to put the over 1 part? We don't have to put that over 1, right? Because negative 2 over 1 is just what? Just negative 2? Y'all awake with me? We're nearly done here. Give me just a couple more minutes, okay? So those are gone, but if we do it over there, we got to do it over here. And when you multiply a fraction times a whole number, just make your whole number a fraction by putting it over 1. Then you're just going to be multiplying the top, multiplying the bottom. So if I multiply the top, what is a negative times a negative? What's 1 times 2? And then what's 8 times 1? And can that simplify? Is there something that goes into both of those things? What goes into 2 and into 8 evenly? 2. How many times does 2 go into 2? How many times does 2 go into 8? That's our answer. Did y'all know that y'all's test scores last year were very good compared to the rest of the area and the state? Yeah. Your math, like all of your scores, but like I'm specifically proud of you for your math scores. So, now, they don't sound great. They sound terrible. We had 40% of our 10th graders were ready or exceeding. 40% of you guys. Yes, I'm talking about people who are juniors this year who were 10th graders last year. 40%. The state average was 20%. The state average. School areas, what's what I'm trying to say here? Other schools in our area were all way lower than us. All. Like nobody was even close to us. One school was 6%. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to. I will say it wasn't Horatio because we always think it's Horatio, but it wasn't. It wasn't Horatio. I'm not going to say, but I will say it wasn't Horatio. Okay. Anyway, I'm proud of y'all. Y'all did good.
How do we look it up?
Huh?
How do we look it up?
I don't know how y'all can look it up.
That's only what you think.
I don't know how y'all can look it up. I mean, like we get it. They send it to us, so I don't know.
Can you share it with the class?
There's got to be some way you can look it up, but I don't know how. I just don't know. Okay. I'm going to stop. Tomorrow we'll look at 9 and 11 because we didn't really look at those. Actually, I need to do one more problem. Let's do one more together. Let's do number 19. So we've got 5 times 6 minus 4. Is that a V?
Yes.
I should put my glasses on. I bought these for this special reason so that I could teach and still see y'all and still see writing. Okay. 6 minus 4V equals V plus 21. Okay. What do you need to do first? Multiply, right? So we're going to multiply 5 times 6. 5 times negative 4. Now what? Right. So if you haven't ever had me before, it doesn't matter what order you do it in. It doesn't make any difference. But I strongly suggest that you get your variables together first. You guys make less mistakes when you get your variables together before you start moving numbers. Okay? So we need to move either this 20V or this V. One of the two. It doesn't matter which one, but we got to move one of them. Which one would you pick? I would pick that one too. Now, why would you pick that one? What's your reason? Because you have to deal with that negative, right? So we wind up with 30 equals 21V plus 21. Then what? Subtract that Plano 21, right? Look how much y'all remember. Y'all smarticles. Now what? I can't post this video.
Why?
Because we talked about how bad Horatio is.
Oh, so it is Horatio.
No. But I said I will tell you it's not Horatio because
We always. Alright. Go out this door into the baseball field. Direction. Don't go all the way through that. Hey, stay together because I gotta do roll. So stay together, okay? I'm not gonna let you burn down, girl. I'll save you. Where do you think you put those? It's gone. Or it's under.
Attention teachers, at this time we need Micah Gibson, Belle Lindsay, Laura Morphew, Stephen Peppers, and Saul Felipe to come to the front office. Go ahead and bring your stuff. Micah Gibson, Belle Lindsay, Laura Morphew, and Stephen Peppers, as well as Saul Felipe. about the fire drills. Some of you did it, some of you didn't. That's okay. We do have another one coming up shortly in September. So if you already headed on out and did the fire drill, great job. That is the conclusion of our fire drill for today. You can head on back to class. Thank you.
Oh, ooh, she's up. It's in the video. Oh, my goodness. This one is
Say,
Are we all back?
Okay, last step on this problem. What's our last step going to be? Divide by 21. Now, a lot of people will mess this part up.
I think it was
It could have been this watermark.
I'm not shocked. Okay, a lot of people will mess this up because they'll be like, oh, it's 3.
Why?
Is it 3?
No.
No.
5, 7, 1.
So here's what people will do. They'll be like, well, they're both divisible by 3. And they just put like 3 as the answer. Believe it or not, that happens all the time. Now, they are both divisible by 3, right? So if we divide them both by 3, what is this? 3. What is this? 7. So what's our answer? 3/7. Okay. Now, if you put that in a calculator, 3 divided by 7, you get a decimal, right? If you leaving it as a fraction rather than a decimal that may have to be rounded is much more accurate. So we're going to focus this year on not being strict fractions anymore. And if an answer comes out as a fraction, we'll just leave it as a fraction and not try to round it off into a decimal. Okay? So we're going to try, that's my goal for y'all this year. My biggest goal is that as 10th and 11th graders, you get not scared of fractions. I don't smell that.
What is super smell like?
But I don't smell any.
I smell it straight up.
I think there is a fire.
I don't
You hear it really in the fire. It smells like super glue.
I mean, the lecture.
I think that our room got caught on fire.
I mean, that would smell like burning plastic.
When does super glue have a smell?
I mean, there was
I think it has a smell. It's very strong, actually. But I don't smell it. Now, if I walk back there, Jordan, I might smell it, but I don't smell it right here. Also, I did eat lunch, and I did microwave it in this classroom, so, like, that you may be smelling that. It was, like, broccoli and ground beef and cauliflower. Cauliflower is smelly, maybe. Okay. I am now actually officially done for today. You are going to have 8 minutes that you can start working on the problems that you are required to do. So you're going to be required to do 2, 4, 6, 8, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Right now, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those 8 questions. I am going to give you some more tomorrow. But for right now, those 8 questions are what I want you to focus on. Okay? Everybody good? Yes. Okay, so you've got 8 minutes to start working on them, 7 minutes to start working on them, and then we'll work on it more tomorrow. Okay? And I'm gonna turn this off. And I also need to stop the video that we can't use.
We can't use it? Oh, someone missed trash. Yeah, we can.
We can't.
Are they gonna watch it?
Well, somebody will.